Uh, all right. Let me do that one more time. There's a reason why I'm doing that. I'm trying to sort out something right about now. Come and work with me. Let's take it from the TOP one more time, just like this. All right, I gotta sort this out. How do I do that? Bear with me. Never thought that it would go out like this. No excuse, no mistakes. Yes, he was murdered by white privilege. I can't breathe. The police is killing me. I can't breathe. All right, Facebook masses, I'm just trying to do something. You notice I'm holding the camera in my hand, so I'm having a problem because it's just a test really and truly. But anyway, bear with me until I can get something sorted out. You're going to see bouncing all over the place because I'm bouncing all over the place, all right? So that was Hopkins, Can't Breathe. I'm going to have to put this down for a hot minute until I can work out something so that it can be shown without me holding this camera. All right, so here's what. Let me do this for the time being. Just work with me. All right. Now, Can't Breathe, Hopkins. Now, I believe they come from Hopkins, Can't Breathe. And I said to y'all that there's a problem in our community. And it's like we don't really know what we want to do. So let me start off with Black Lives Matters first. All right. I'm going to give him a round of applause. Right? I'm giving you the round of applause. Black Lives Matters. Hold up. All right? And the reason why I'm giving you a round of applause. Here. All right. The reason why is because you took the initiative. Right? I know what it was all about. I know that George Soros, right, gave you 2.5. Let me rephrase it. It's allegedly that Soros gave you 2.5 million and he gave the LGBT 2.5 million. But the point is that you've taken the lead on the black liberation struggle. Somebody put you up there, right? So that's the reason why I'm giving you a round of applause, because you've done more than I've ever done. Period. All right? And that's why I'm going to give it to you one more time. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all though. You can't lead me. There's an issue. There's a problem. You can't lead me. And the reason why you can't lead me, because I believe you're well represented anyway. Everywhere you turn around, you got a representation for y'all. But you got to understand, when we read into blacklivesmatters.com and it states about us in the 4th or 5th paragraph, it's stating about you want to change the role from cisgender, right? You want to take it from cisgender to transgender, male and females leading cisgender. Cisgender just basically means that you like the opposite sex, not the same sex, right? That's all it basically means, right? So how can I, as a heterosexual, allow you as a transgender, right? Which I believe, this is a personal belief, right? That you're confused yourself because you're either a man or a female or whatever. All right? But do you, if that's the way you feel about it, then do you. As I said, you've taken the lead, so continue taking the lead, because the Nation of Islam, the Rastafarians, the Pan-African Nuwapians has fell back and allowed you to take the lead. And this is what I've been saying for the last umpteen years. The Rasses, get yourself together. But you refuse to get yourself together, right? And take leadership. And now here you go, Black Lives Matters, they've taken the leadership. So for all those groups that's sucking onto Black Lives Matters, cool, that's good for you. You Rasses, you Nation of Islam, that's great for you. That's not good for me. So Black Lives Matters, don't take it personal, but what you've done, right, or what George Sorwell or your strategic team that sat down, they was calculated. Because they know we have a problem in our community. But I'm going to play you something. Lady M had sent it to me, all right? I'm going to play you something. Listen to this.
Now, your man Lil Wayne, yeah, it's a little different. Yeah. You saw the whole Black Lives Matter? Now, here's what's interesting before we get into this part, is that in August, we had found a clip at a title contest saying Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he basically said, you know, belongings don't matter, Black Lives matter. That's the only thing that matters. Fast forward to November, he's saying, I don't know about Black Lives Matter. What is that? He said, my life matters to my position. Don't ask me no stupid shit like that. They strode down again.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly because he was mad about a previous question she asked where she was saying that he called women to give him gold within his music, and she asked him
About his daughter?
Yeah, would you like your daughter to be called that? And he said that's where it all was left. You know what I mean? But to me, that's a legitimate question.
I think
That's a legitimate question. Just like when we talk about shaming, you see, it touches a nerve. Sure, you can call this one a shaming a whole blah, blah, blah. But when it's connected to your loved ones, now it's a problem. You see? So if we were just to look at everyone like our loved one, we would be treating people entirely different ways. It's because you feel a disconnection from
interesting point.
from certain people and things that you're able to say, oh, shit, man. And I know it's like, oh, yeah, but this is don't you ever call her that. You know what I mean? Like, well then, you know what I mean? You have to want for yourself. You will have to want for your brother or sister what you want for yourself.
Right.
You know?
Jeezy was asked about Wayne's comments.
He said he's in his own island.
His own island. He basically said, listen.
It sounded like that.
Yeah, I mean, he basically said, listen, that's a grown man. I'm not going to speak on his behalf. This is an adult. You know, but honestly, if you just take a step back, this man's been famous since he was a little kid.
Right.
He's disconnected from a lot of stuff. Like, I don't think Wayne is on social media. I don't think Wayne is on the internet. I think Wayne lives in his own world. He has handlers around him that provide certain things that he wants.
Right, does Wayne watch the news?
I don't think so.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
He watches sports, probably.
that's his news. Sports Center.
On sports, I know that, because he's been on Sports Center and something.
Like, I grew up as a kid watching the news every night.
Right.
Like, every night.
Right, because remember, he didn't even say he didn't know the names of some of these rappers, these new rappers. He's like, I don't know who Little Uzi Vert is. I don't know all these guys. Like I interviewed Taxstone, and Taxstone pretty much said, look, he's on drugs.
Man, Lil Wayne been on drugs for so many years, you know, I don't even expect him to understand what's going on in the world.
It looked like he, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I just thought that was a weird shit. And I'm not no Black Lives Matter supporter. Like,
You're not?
No.
Why not?
It's not our movement. It's a
Listen.
movement that was given to us by, you know, George Soros and his boys. Because they saw how things were going and they didn't want it to go back to the 60s to where we start having our own organic movements. That was a big, tough problem for them. So let's give the people a movement that we can control. We'll provide them the leaders and all of this type of ish. And yeah, that's what Black Lives Matter is. Look at the leaders of Black Lives Matter.
Are there leaders?
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Lives Matter?
Yeah.
Who?
These lesbian women were trying to incorporate, you know, LG, whatever the fuck the letters are, incorporate their concerns into black people's concerns. Go to the website, look it up. Google George Soros and Black Lives Matter, see what comes up. Okay. And you know, y'all out there, George Soros is a multi-billionaire down with, you know, some of the 12 richest people in the
He raised
world.
$100 million.
Yep.
The Black Lives Matter Coalition funding comes in addition to more than 33 million grants from top Democratic Party donor George Soros. Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, so he gave.
What billionaire would have done that for the Black Panther Party?
33 million. Well, hold on.
Huh?
Hold on. In high school, I read some books about the Black Panther movement.
Mm-hmm. Charlton Heston, maybe people like that.
The Black Panther movement would have. There was a famous book called Radical Chic and Mao and the Black Interests.
Okay.
And it basically puts you in these scenes where you had these, you know, the Huey P. Newtons and the Bobby Seals would go to these rich white families' houses and have these intellectual debates.
I know about that.
You know what I'm saying? With these white millionaires.
Did anybody give me $30 million?
But at the end, these people would cut checks.
Not no $30 million check. It'd be a 5,000, 10,000. You see what I'm saying? This was breakfast programs and, you know, smaller scale.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Rich white people have historically financed some of this stuff.
Some of it, not all of it.
Which is why
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that was more guilt money rather than control money. See, this started at the impetus of the whole issue. This is control money. This is not, oh, I feel bad for what we've done as white people. You came to my house and shamed me, and now I'm going to cut you a check. You know what I mean? That's not what that is about. That's about, let us give you a movement that we can control, use certain symbolism from the original civil rights movement, like the black, you know, red, black, and green, all these different symbols. We're going to incorporate that, but only it's going to be a movement that we control. We decide what the messages are. We decide what the slogans are. You know, what happened to no justice, no peace, and, you know, no peace, no justice. Now it's hands up, don't shoot, up, I can't breathe, and all these negative affirmations that, you know, who made that shit up? You know what I mean? Wasn't me. You know, and like...
I might have to cut it short because of the news and the views, and I catch you on the rebound.
Okay? Now, if y'all don't know what social engineering is, go look it up. Like, there's people out there that know how to scientifically
Think tanks.
make society do what they want it to do, how they want it to be done. They're engineering how society should be. That's social engineering. So when we sit here and talk about, you know, things like false evolution, you know, we say, oh, hip-hop's just going that way. No, it's not. It was socially engineered to go in the way that it's going right now. You see social engineering of how a civil rights movement should move. You see what I'm saying? And this is what we have to look at. Not everything is organic.
Well, you also don't see any clear leaders in Black Lives Matter. You had D-Ray. He's been kind of the face of Black Lives Matter for a while.
Why when he's not the leader? You see what I'm saying?
There's no real
Why is he? There is leaders. That's what I'm telling you. They're lesbians.
Ouch.
They're black lesbians.
key people are Sean King.
Who's that?
He's a writer for New York Daily News.
I'm not talking about the key people. Go to the website. Who runs this ish?
Is that a website?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because when I looked at Black Lives BLM leader, the key people there's no leader that's listed, but the key people that are listed is Sean King, DeRay McKeeson, and Jonetta Elsie.
Those people don't run Black Lives Matter. Although they might be the face right now, they're not the ones calling the shots.
But even if they're the face, somewhat, they don't hold even remotely the significance of a Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad.
Because those were real movements. Those were real movements starting from real love.
Newton,
Yeah.
right.
Those were real movements. You know?
Like MLK.
Marcus Garvey. Come on, Marcus Garvey is the foundation of all of this in America.
Marcus Garvey is Jamaican, right?
Yes. But he came here in America, started the Unia improvement, you know.
All right. I got another 55 seconds. Hi, Shelly Shell, how you doing? Also, Donna Rose is tuning in. Who else? I got Tanya Marie Edwards. Hi to you and the family. Husan Alexandra Halia. Peace to you. All right. And to all of y'all and so forth. Anyway, I remember I've been saying this for the longest from 2010, right? After Mark Dugan, I was saying a lot of the things them, and now you hearing people coming up now like that was Lord Jamar and was it called Vlad, right? And he was saying what I've been saying for the longest. Y'all don't like to listen, all right? You don't mind hearing what somebody's got to say, and when I say certain things, y'all take it offense. Oh, he always acting like you know what he's doing. But anyway, I got 5 seconds. So I'm going to catch you after the news and the views, national and international news. Hello, one, peace.
Amiga Radio, 104.1 FM. News and views around your community.
This is the amiga.co.uk news at 11.
The government says it's prioritised the safety of vulnerable children despite claims of a surge in reports of abuse once schools reopen. One of Britain's biggest child protection departments is warning it's facing an increase in referrals of 250%. Sarah has been thrown out of accommodation after an allegation she was using drugs. She's expecting twins in October and has already had a child taken away, and coronavirus means her appeal might not be heard until December.
I feel like when I get home very soon that they're going to take my unborn kids off me and everything. And that is the truth. I'm really very stressed about that. I'm not sleeping over it because I feel like this is the only thing they've got on me is this.
The government says anyone going into a takeaway in England from tomorrow should be wearing a mask. We're expecting more details later on the rules around face coverings, which are becoming mandatory in shops. Scotland's First Minister says the Prime Minister's visit north of the border highlights one of the key arguments for independence. Nicola Sturgeon has welcomed the PM's trip this morning, which is his first since he won the election. More than a third of women say they've experienced at least one sexist work demand since lockdown began. Research found some were asked to dress sexier and wear makeup on video calls. Vets, charities and celebrities have joined a government campaign warning about the risks of being pet fished. They've written an open letter calling for people to research sellers before buying an animal which may not exist. Others are exploiting demand during lockdown. Becky Thwaites from the Blue Cross says it's been a particular problem recently.
Lots of responsible breeders have stopped breeding because of social distancing, etc. But lots of dodgy breeders are carrying on selling puppies, and we've seen a massive spike in the prices that people are charging.
And this year's traditional Hopkins street party in Edinburgh has been cancelled. 180,000 people turned up to the 3-day end-of-year festival in 2019.
Amiga, you're the thinking people station.
OMEGA, meaning Organized Mothers Eradicate Amiga.
Stop, stand with our children and the LBC. We're asking volunteers from the Northwest 10 postcode to provide 2 hours per day, twice a week, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. to escort our children on their route from the school gates to their bus stop to ensure a safe passage. For further information, please call 074963 31547. Thank you. If we care, they care.
Chris will cook it a Caribbean experience you'll never forget. He's warm, courteous, and provides a service at high standards. Crystal Cooking Caribbean Catering provides for weddings, christenings, funerals, hen nights, and stag do's. We also do small parties. We provide a home romantic meal for two with a restaurant feeling in your own home. Contact Crystal Cooking on 07415 432 486. That's 07415 432 486. Let's make it a date and don't wait.
Greetings, fabulous people. The Bay Fund needs your help now, more than ever, in this time of crisis, so we can help the most vulnerable families in our community. To make a contribution, go to our website, www.bayfund.org. Give generously today. Share with your family and friends and your social media buddies. Remember, if not you, who? If not now, when? Support the Bay Fund today. The Bay Fund.
This holiday season, give yourself and family the gift of wellness. Feel good with Mariandina nutritional supplements, researched and developed by Professor Sally. Mariandina is a natural nutritional supplement that boosts the immune system, nourishes the body, boosts energy and circulation, and detoxifies the body. Mariandina repairs and supports the body's vital systems and organs using nature. Prevention is the key to good health. Think natural. Use Mariandina. For more information or to purchase, click buy online at www.mariandina.com or call the Mariandina hotline on 0207 978 8321.
They tell me that 10% of road accidents are caused by drunken drivers. So why don't the other 90 of you get off the road and let me drive in peace?
But as a driver, it's not just your life that's at stake. Don't drink and drive.
Hey, I'm trying to get through to you. You know how annoying it is to phone your telephone love, friends, or business associates, and your mobile is giving problems? You know how long it takes major network companies to repair your mobile? Well, don't worry, there's a way to get through. Repair all major brands, software updates, battery testing, RF testing, refurbishment, technical support, 15 to 45-minute repairs in most cases. Nokia and Samsung Care Repair, located at 8 Glengall Road, Kilburn, London, NW6 7EP, 1 block away from McDonald's. Telephone number 0207 625 6884.
Blue Mountain Heat caters for all your festival holiday needs. We have all your favorite Afro-Caribbean products. We also carry pure pearl seasoning, ackee, halibut, mackerel, smoked ham, rice, fresh Afro-Caribbean bread, bun and cheese, and much more. All on special offer. Blue Mountain is in the heart of housing. 2-8 Craven Park Road, Housing, NW10 4AB. Telephone 0208 965 3859. Our website is www.bluemountainpeak.com. Blue Mountain Peak.
Monster Jerk, we have curry mutton, oxtail, brown stew fish, roti fillings, breakfast menu, porridge, cornmeal, banana, fried dumplings, fruits, homemade Irish moss, sorrel, pineapple punch, soup, red PC, mutton steak, opening hours 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Minimum order £15. Local delivery. Address 150 Church Road, Winston, NW10 9NH, opposite Church Road Market. Telephone 0203 632 2572. We are friendly and we cook with love. Master Jerk Chicken. We are the masters.
20 years ago, I helped create a gang called the Crips. Today, I'm speaking to you from Death Row. I never imagined that the Crip gang would spread throughout California, throughout the nation, throughout the world. And I deeply regret the legacy that it left, because it left the legacy of genocide, black-on-black genocide. And I apologize for my part in it, but I am deeply encouraged to see you here today. That lets me know that I'm not alone in deeply regretting this legacy and seeing it for what it is. And no one can have a better influence on gang violence or gang culture than gang members themselves, and therefore best positioned to reverse this course of violence. But we must do work. We must get out there and we must forge peace. We must stop exterminating one another. We must stop all of this madness, because at the end of the day, we have only ourselves to blame. We must have a do or die attitude, as we were as people, to rebuild our culture and to create a new lasting legacy, a legacy of peace.
All right. Welcome one more time. Welcome back on the rebound. Peace to each and every one of y'all. All right. Now, let's continue, right? Now, what I done earlier on, if just logging in just a while ago, was I gave Black Life a round of applause, right? I gave it to them twice. And the reason why I gave Black Lives Matters a round of applause is because they've taken the initiative. George Sorwell and the powers to be has pushed Black Lives Matters up in our face. All right? So I gave them a round of applause because they've done more than what I've done, or even our community. Let's be truthful about it. Black Lives Matters has done way more than the Nation of Islam, the Rastafarian, the Pan-African, and the Wapians from day dot. They've been around from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020s. They've been around. Black Lives Matters only really and truly became prominent in the UK. It's when Mark Dougan was killed. And then they went down to Oxford Circus. And they was protesting and shut it down. And I said back then that I would have went down there to Oxford Circus and promote them or be part of them. But then I was listening to a young lady called Nzinga on a station called Genesis, and she read out their manifesto. And it was going on for about 20 minutes. Every other paragraph was transgender, homosexual, this and that. So as I said, I gave them a round of applause because they've taken the initiative. I'm not going through the conspiratorial theory. The point is they've brought our plight to the world, right? Nobody else has really done that from within our community. But I did say that I would not follow them because there is no way. First of all, they're well represented already, right? Their representation goes far, way far and beyond, right? Everywhere you turn around, they're well represented. We're not. All right, so therefore, I could not follow a transgender male or female, because the way I'm sitting, from where I'm sitting, it just don't make a lick of sense to me. Because how can they turn around and say cisgender, right, which is heterosexual male and female, should be led by transgender male and females? So straight away, I have a problem with that. All right, because I'm saying, if you, this is my personal view, if you have a problem with your identification of who you are, then I don't see how you can lead me. And I don't want nobody to say I'm homophobic, because I'm not homophobic. Because when I see a homosexual, I don't go into cold sweats. My heart don't start going boo, 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 boo. I don't get paranoid or anything like that. No. So I'm not homophobic. But what I realize is that with the homosexual community, they've become the new bullies. You can't say nothing about them. You can't look at them cross-eyed. And you're not supposed to abuse them. You're not supposed to do them nothing. Leave them, let them live. They have the right. Who give you the right to turn around because two grown men... Let me put it this way. right? I was in the prison penitentiary in New York City, and I was talking to my brethren before I went to the penitentiary, somebody called Turk. Straight up gangster. Straight up gangster. From he was 12, he said he always wanted to be a gangster. You know, like that movie in Goodfellas? I always wanted to be a gangster. That's what he was. And he was going in the penitentiary, and he said to me, he said, Unks, here's the hypocrisy of life. You will have somebody that killed 6 innocent people, Johnny Bad Boy, General, Tech Life, Wicked, right? They will kill 6 innocent people. When they come into the jail, all the inmates, right, want to rally around that individual. As he comes into the gate, they take his bag, carry it to the cell for him, right? You want this, you want that, you want this, right? And these are 6 innocent people he killed. Well, I know a couple of people that killed at least 4 people, innocent people, and not 6, but 4 innocent people. And I saw the same thing when I went to Rikers Island. I went in there and see people running around this individual or individuals, right? Because they killed innocent people. But there you go, a homosexual, a grown man, choose to be in a relationship, haven't harmed nobody, but you want to hurt him, you want to beat him. That's hypocrisy. Alright? So this is what I'm saying is, leave them alone. They have a right to live, but you don't have a right to bully us either. As we say anything, we look at you too hard. Homophobic, you just lost your job. Imagine that doctor dude, right? That he had a patient in front of him. It's a transgender. He's going to call him Mr. because that's what he's looking at, his biological, his anatomy. Right? So he's saying it's Mr. No, they want him, this dude wants him to call him Mrs. or Mistress. He said, I can't do that. The dude lost his job. So you homosexual, you are bullies now. You know how it felt back in the days when people were bullying you. You didn't like it. But now you turn around and bullying them. So now let's get to Black Lives Matters. So that's the reason why I said give them a round of applause, because they've done more in our community within the last 10 years than these groups put together done in the last 50 years. So that's the Nation of Islam being around for 40 odd 50 years. You have the Rastafarians have been around the same time. That's 100 years. Then you've got the Pan-Africanists. They've been around 50 years. So that's 150 years. Then you've got the New Warpians that's been around for 30 years. That's 180 years of nothing. And here goes Black Lives Matters. Within 10 years, look what they have accomplished. Globalization. So I'm going to play this one more time because I got to play it. Come on. Where you at? Where you at? What happened? You don't want to work with me? I'll make you civilized. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
George was a gentle child, minding his own business. Standing 6 feet 6 inches, never thought that he would go out like this. No excuse, no mistakes. Yes, he was murdered by white privilege.
I can't breathe.
The police is killing me. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe.
Squeezing my neck with this thing.
I can't breathe. All right, that's George Floyd, and I can't breathe. Now, before I go any further, remember what we was talking about, voting for somebody from our community to represent us? Because, as I said, Black Lives Matter has done a lot, and it's able to basically, really and truly, giving us the opportunity to put things in place, especially during the so-called lockdown that we've had. We're supposed to think things through intellectually. So a couple of names has been come up. And I'd really and truly like you to text in or call and tell me, why would you support these individuals? So you've had Billy, you have Lady M, Cheryl Phoenix, Brother Man, Andrew Muhammad, King Lion, Nubian Jack, Hawkeye. Right? So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 that's being put up there. Alright? So hopefully later on you could call in and tell me, because we got to create something. We got to do something. We can't do the same thing continuously. But getting back to what I was saying, right? So I can't breathe. Now, Giggles, Lady M, I heard you yesterday calling me miserable and cantankerous and so forth, and that's not nice. That's not nice one bit. I will talk to you later about that one. Only joking with you, I don't care. Anyway, listen, Kate Hopkins, right? Kate Hopkins made a statement, right? And people were jumping up and saying, she's racist, she's this. And I'm saying, and so what if she's racist? So what if she's Caucasian? So what if she's a woman? So what? So what? What is she saying? Is it the truth? So I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to narrate through it. Because remember, right? Listen, take a listen. No, that's not you. No. Where is it? I thought I had it up here. Let me see if that's it. No, that's it. Here it goes. My bad. That's not you. Where you at? No. So how you come down at that? I sorted you out yesterday. Let me see. There it goes. Hold up.
Why do Black Lives Matter more?
I'm going to take it from TOP. Hold up. And I'm going to go do a narrative through it. Come on, work with me. I'll make you civilized. Ta-da.
3 questions for the Black Lives Matter protesters, a protest movement that's sweeping the globe. My questions are this. Number 1, why do Black Lives Matter more when a white person is involved? Why is it that during the weekend prior to the death of George Floyd, 10 individuals were shot down, murdered in Chicago at the hands of other black individuals, but nothing was said? And yet when a white person was involved, there are protests all over the globe. There was a gentleman shot trying to protect a store from looters and rioters. He was shot dead where he stood, lay bleeding out on the sidewalk, and no one seemed to care. Why do Black Lives Matter more when a white person is involved? My second question.
Okay, I'm going to respond to that, all right? Now, when white people kill black people, yes, we're going to react. Mrs. Kate Hopkins, right? We're going to react because you've been doing this for over 400 years. If you go back, there's a good movie. Kate, you need to go and see this movie called Goodbye Uncle Tom, right? It makes Roots look like a cartoon. Yes. Amistad, all of those movies, it makes it look like a cartoon. It's called Goodbye Uncle Tom. Go onto YouTube and put in Goodbye, the full version, and you will understand Kate Hopkins. Alright? So you did pose a legit question, right? But you have a bad history. Any part of the world you go, Europeans, you have a bad history. And it's not your next door neighbor, the Kate and the Susan. It's the powers to be. They're the problem, not the next door neighbor. So, Kate, to answer that first part of section A, right? I just answered. You've been abusing us for so many years, so when it happened. But number 2, whether you people out there like it or not, she is correct. Alright? And this is the reason why I said it's like talking to people in our community. It's like, especially the males, it's like frustrating. You don't want to talk to no black person no more. Alright? If it's Limo, Lana, Dryfoot, Patsy, I can hold a conversation with them. And even if they don't agree or we don't cancel, I can understand. But some of y'all in our community, that you intellectual giants, because the 2-year-old baby was shot in Halsden. And the baby shot in her head. Where was all of y'all? Where was all of y'all when that 13-year-old boy got shot? Right? Pardon me, the 11-year-old boy, I believe it was East London, got shot. Right? Walking with his father. Where was y'all? Near not one of y'all. Near not one. What about the 13-year-old boy that was shot, stabbed in Kilburn? Where was y'all? I ain't seen near not one of y'all. So is Kate Hopkins correct? Yes, she is definitely correct. 674 stay asking a question. Hold on. What about Leonard Johnson? Oh, that I'll try to do that later on. That is about somebody standing up to represent the community. So I'll make a note of that. Leonard Johnson. Alright. And that's from, would I say it was? From 674. Leonard, I thought I had Leonard Johnson before, but it's not. Alright. Alright. Now, so as I said, what time is it? 23 minutes after hours of 11 o'clock. So the second one, she was correct. You may not like her. You may say she's racist. You may say she is part of the Freemason or deep state or whatever. But you can't deny the question that was posed. That's your emotion superseding your intelligence. She is correct. Where are all the people and when that 2-year-old baby got shot in her head? Where was, as a matter of fact, where was you gang members? But I'll discuss that later on because Lady M sent me something, right, trying to take away from the responsibility of our community, but I'll get into that later on. Right? Now, that was the first question. The second one she posed, so hopefully you got the first one. The reason why, number one, why it's a big issue because you've been killing us from day dot. Day dot. Every opportunity, the powers to be, the structures, you just kill us and get away with it. So that's the reason why there's going to be an uproar. The second question, you are correct on that. Where's the black people in the UK? Forget about the United States. She's from the UK, Kate Hopkins. She was on LBC and they kicked her up because she made, from what I understand, she made some anti-Semitic remarks. I'm not going through that, right? But the point is, she is correct. Where were y'all? Kamani Barnes got killed. Where was y'all? All you bleeding heart liberals that cried at Kamani Barnes in Harlesden, Willesden, or wherever it was, right, by the academy school. You cried, and then after that, not one of y'all turned up. Near not one of y'all. That was what you was asking about Ivy from W12, right? Yes, we're out there still, but it was an embarrassment to our community because it was too Caucasian and the Indian that came up and filled in the space for all these liberal, crying heart liberals that was, oh, Kamani Barnes, we need to change, we need to stop. Where are y'all now? Nowhere. So the woman is correct.
What is it you're actually asking for? What do you want and why do you want it? You can say Black Lives Matter, you can shout systemic racism, you can give me all the sort of repeated platitudes, but none of them are actually telling me what you want. If racism is so systemic, did it only start since Trump was in power? Is it only systemic?
Okay, I'm going to answer that. What do we want? Leave us the F alone. I said it. Leave us alone. All we asking for is freedom, justice, and equality. That's it. No more, no less. Alright? No more, no less. That's what we want.
For 4 or 5 years? Or does it happen in Obama's time? If so, where were you then? What is it you're asking for? If I ask 10 of you,
listen.
10 different answers. And finally,
okay. I'm going to go back just to that little piece where she said it. Can I get it? Try work with me. Work with me. Can I say work with me?
If so, where were you then? What is it you're asking for? If I ask 10 of you, I get 10 different answers.
Okay. She's not lying. She's not lying. I answered the first one. What we want, freedom, justice, and equality. That's what we want. Leave us alone. Alright? Leave us alone. You're on the air. Peace.
Hello.
Peace.
Yeah, just a quick thing. What we need is to...
Well, first of all, who am I speaking to?
Speaking to Richie Rich.
Oh, Lord. All right, Richie Rich. That's my brother. All right, we share we're actually blood, like we're blood. But anyway, go ahead, Richie.
Yeah, look. What is what a lot of, I think, like you're saying, we want equality, freedom, justice, and all that rhetoric. But when you look at it, at the end of the day, we're in their country. They're not going to leave us alone because we're in their country. What we need is our own state. We didn't ask to come here. That's what we need to
I'm listening.
So that's my standpoint. I think that we need to get away and maybe get back to Africa, or maybe get a few states. I heard the great Khalid Muhammad, he said, we need states of our own because we spend a lot of time building up America. So maybe give us a couple of states, you know, which are people they can give them Texas, Mississippi, you know, a few of those southern states. That's what I think anyway.
Okay, so you speaking for the United States or you speaking for England? Because Black Lives Matters is over here too, and Miss Kate Hopkins is over here talking. She's not talking from the United States.
What it is we've got a place in America. Most of the Americans were given a couple of states. I think they should make some sort of allow black people who are in England, who are obviously of the diaspora as well, to go back to America and, you know,
Go back to America?
or anything.
Go back to America?
Or go to America and stay there as citizens because we're part of the diaspora.
Okay, let me say this.
We can't keep looking at ourselves as American and English and so we're all black African.
Okay, let me say this. Kate Hopkins is correct. You're going to ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. Let me explain to you why I said she's correct. Do you think she's correct? Let me ask you this. Do you think she's correct?
Kate Hopkins.
Yes, when she said, I remember I went through number 2, but she said number 2 is, what is what we want and how do we intend to go about it? We know that what we want, leave us alone, don't abuse us and so forth, correct?
No, that's not what we want. What we want is reparations.
Listen to what I said to you. Listen, are you listening to what I'm saying to you?
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Don't hear what I'm saying, but listen. I said number 1, the second question, part A. She says, what do we want? And I said it, leave us alone, freedom, justice, and equality, right? The number 2, what she said, was if you ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. So my question to you, is she correct or she's not correct?
What, you're going to get 10 different answers?
Yes. Okay, so hold up. We're going to stay focused here. 10 different people going to give you 10 different answers. Right? You just gave one. Right? I was watching last week. You had a thing on TV called Stephen Lawrence Has Britain Changed. Right?
Yeah.
You had Stephen Lawrence's brother. He is in the Board of Education. He wants something to be done because you have no black deputy headmasters or no black headmasters. So that's 1. So that's 2. You have 1, he's got 1, right? Chantel Joseph, she's from an activist, right? As a matter of fact, did you see that show?
I didn't see that show, but I can see where you're going.
Right.
It's not right.
Okay, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Fundamentally.
No, wait a minute. Let me finish. Richie. I asked you on a second question, right? You gave 1. Stephen Lawrence's brother gave another 1. Chantel Joseph, a journalist, a member of the BLM, she wants us to stop, to dissolve the police and put the money into the police, that money into the community, right? Then you got Sean Bailey. He's a mayor candidate, right? He black too, right? So how many got? You as 1, Steve Lawrence's brother 2, pardon me, 2.
Okay.
Chantel 3. Hold up. Chantel 3. Sean Bailey 4. He wants us to give them the police officers therapy. And John Barnes, the football player, he's talking about we need to go way, 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 way back and reset the mindset under racism. That's almost 5, 6 different views straight away. So the woman is correct.
Okay. So it's correct in that we'll have different views. But if we're in a room together, then obviously the best possible solution will come out among us. Wouldn't it does? The best possible solution?
That's if you come together, but we're not coming together. That's the reason why Black Lives Matter has taken the lead as the leader for the Black Liberation Army. Because we've been...
Black Lives Matter have obviously got a lot of money behind it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they got behind them.
It does matter.
Okay, then where was all the big 4 from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? The Nation of Islam has been around from day dot, from dirt, old as dirt, What have they?
Wait. Okay, the Nation of Islam has been around for X amount of years, yeah? How many times have they been infiltrated?
That's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. You know the reason why it's,
That's why there's no unity there.
it doesn't matter because we all already know about COINTELPRO. You know about COINTELPRO, don't?
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, wait a minute. You're in the UK and and you're not no community leader. You're a lay person like myself, but you know about. So you're trying to tell me that the big four in the United States don't know about the COINTELPRO?
Of course I do.
Okay, so then why are you giving them in a way out an excuse to state that, oh, because they've been infiltrated. So that's the reason why they can't do nothing. That's not taking responsibility and accountability.
Right. Okay. So they've been infiltrated. Someone's gone into their midst to help and control their organization. Obviously, they're in there to disrupt it, and that's what they're doing. They're doing a good job.
What I'm saying to you is they've been around, so they're supposed to know. And all I'm saying is that Black Lives Matters, when you put those four groups together, right, the Black Lives Matters has done way more than them, than the combination of the Rastafarians, the Nation of Islam, Pan-African or Wapians. Whether you like it or not, that's the reality. Look at the history. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it wrong or twisted or bent out of shape that you don't have individuals within those groups that's doing things. Of course, we have thousands of community activists in London, in England, thousands, but we have no community leaders. So what I'm saying to you is, right, that Kate Hopkins is correct. You might not like it, but she is correct because we don't have an aim and objective. You know what everybody's in England saying? Racism. Racism within school, within housing, mental health, this, that. Blame the aliens, blame the Loch Ness Monster, blame Sasquatch, blame everybody except for blaming themselves. And that's why Kate Hopkins is correct in her analysis of certain things there. Because these are people on the outside looking in. We're on the inside and we can't see it because we have blinders on. We have no peripheral vision.
Yeah, understand.
But, however, you understand, but.
It does come down to money.
What?
That's a big part of it, and that's why.
And guess who's going to get them? If you.
They've got George Soros behind them, who's a billionaire. There's no billionaire behind Nation Islam more than Hopkins or the rest.
No, but what happened? No, true indeed, but you didn't need money to set off a movement. What it is no, not to set off a movement. The Rastafarians never needed money to set off a movement, and they became globalized. Any part of the world you go, you can hear about a Rasta. All you have to do is open up your mouth or wear red, gold, and green, and they're going to say Rasta Jamaican. They didn't need money.
But when you look at the Rasta community, are you really going to seriously say, okay, the Rasta community is a community we're going to... Because I don't disrespect, but I don't know the Rasta community to be good. Years ago, they did try some stuff over in England. Labrador, there was a guy named Rodney Kentish who did quite a lot of stuff with the black community here. But, you know, like I said, they infiltrated. They got, that was the Mangrove 9, who was one of them parts. Once they got arrested and put in jail, you know, they sort of fell apart. But it is down to, there's a lot to do with money and infiltration. They set us up to fail all the time.
Or we set ourselves up for failure because, listen, all I'm saying to you, brethren, we've got enough information for the last blueprints from our forefathers that have left us and foremothers, right? And we're not implementing it. What we'd like to do is like what a lot of people do, is give them a way out. Find an excuse. Let me give you an example. And me and you had our conversation the other day and you peed me off. Remember when you called me and it was like it was going nowhere, right? What I'm saying is accountability. I said to you, and I'm not picking on the Rastas, so I'm going to leave the Rastas right now. Take the Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad got, right? He got for sleeping with 16, 17, 18-year-old girls, right? He's a 60-odd-year-old man. Now, before they turn around and tell Elijah Muhammad, listen, go on a national platform on Savior's Day, tell the world you're immortal, you make mistakes, you allow your lower desires to supersede your intelligence, right? That kicked in, and they may forgive you. They may say, oh, he's coming, he's admitting his wrongs. But they don't, or tell him, why don't you step down and put somebody else in the leadership? No, they blame Malcolm X. There is no accountability or responsibility. And that's our problem in our community. So when we go back to Kate Hopkins, right, and Kate Hopkins saying, what do we want? It's because there was never no accountability, because we give all these groups excuses. Like if we say Dawn Butler with her beautiful Kool-Aid smile as a black woman, why don't she do nothing? You know what everybody's going to say? What do you expect? She's a politician. You just gave her a way out. Because what she has to turn around and say, well, you know what? If that's the way the black community feel about me, I ain't going to do nothing. No accountability. The Rastafarians, no accountability. Jacques is a rapist. And he's a dreadlock. Trim him and tell him to come again. You don't rape nobody. Budger Banton is a drug dealer, right? He's selling cocaine. I don't need to hear the conspiracy and who set him up or whatever. He got. He's got with his hands in the cookie jar. If it was a ton of marijuana, I would have patted him on his back and said, that's my boy. That's my peeps. But it's cocaine. I was a house igger. I used to sell crack cocaine to black people, so I was a house igger, right? So I'm saying anybody as of today or in the past that sells drugs to their own people are house iggers. And that's what Budge, but you hear what they're going to say about him? We separate his musical career from his personal life. No accountability. Malachi York is a rapist, a child molester. Do you think they hold him accountable? No.
Who's this Malachi York?
Yeah. So the point I'm just trying to make to you, brethren, is accountability. So I'm getting back to Kate Hopkins. When she said 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. You showed them proof. You went and started talking about a state in the United States or wherever you want to have a state and reparation in the whole 9 yards. You've got Stephen Lawrence's brother talking about the Board of Education. You've got Chantel Joseph wants to dismantle the police force. That was a kick and a half in the ass when I heard her say that. Then you got Sean Bailey as a mayor candidate, Conservative Party. He turned around and said the officers then need therapy, right? Then you got David.
Sean Bailey needs therapy. He needs therapy.
I'm not going through that. That's not what we're discussing, whether he needs it or not. We're going about Kate Hopkins. No, don't take it somewhere else, because we're going to go somewhere else. Kate Hopkins is correct. Then you got David Olagoso. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Olagoa, right? Now, he made a statement. He was just being a historian. That's all he was doing. I have no problem with him. He was just giving information, right? No problem. But then you had John Barnes. He's the football player. What's to do? He wants us to go back in time. And reset the mindset with white people. Go back 300-400 years ago, I guess. Right? The point I'm trying to make, what Kate Hopkins. That's not what we're talking about, anything. It's irrelevant. No. Because I'm going to play something later on. A dude, at least he tried to make sense out of it. Right? Lady F sent me that information earlier on. Well, yesterday. Right? He tried to, and he made more sense than 95% of the people that some have an issue with. How can you turn around and come on a national platform and telling the world that they should dismantle the police force? Because she heard that from the United States. Do you? But the point is, Kate Hopkins is correct. That's the bottom line. And I already told people, here's what it is. This is the reason why I've been beat up and I'm peed, really and truly, because people haven't been listening to me, right? They've heard what I've said, but they may be biased because of who I am or what I am, I guess. So they don't want to hear it. But years later, 10 years, 50, 12 years later, the same thing I was saying back then now comes back to bite them in their ass. And now they still don't even want to hear it. It's like telling somebody feces stink, right? And it smells and they say, oh, I don't think it stinks. When you rub it into their face and say, I told you it stinks. Pardon my expression early in the morning just in case somebody's eating. And you rub it in their face and say, I told you it stinks. They're going to still find an argument. Oh, why don't you blame the white man? Blame the this, blame the that. And that I don't want to hear no more. All right? So the point is...
You don't think we should blame white people?
I never said that. Listen, the average... Listen. The average white person that lives next door to you, no. England is a class system. It's not segregated. The United States and certain parts of Africa, you have apartheid back in the days, and in the United States, you got segregated community. You should know because you've been to New York. You've been to America. So you know there's communities where you only see black and maybe Hispanic. Back in the days, it was just strictly black, but because Hispanic from South America started populated, right? But England don't have that. You don't have a black community geographically, demographically, and I think you and I went through this and we dragged it out for the longest. There is no black community in England. You may have a predominantly black Stonebridge, Broadwater Farm, Tulsa Hill, Angel Town, maybe predominantly black, but you don't have a black community. It's integrated, all right? So it's not the average white person that lives next door to you. They ain't got nothing to do with this. They may probably maybe they may benefit through their forefathers, but they live in the estate. Hold up, but they live in the wait a minute, they don't, because they live in the estate right next door to you. Not like they're living on top of the hilltop. They're living in this right next door to you. England is a class system. That's it.
They benefit from things like micro racism and stuff.
Ah, come on. You benefit because you was born here. So what opportunity that white...
No, but I go in the shop and get followed every day.
Listen. I'm not going to go down. All I'm trying to say to you, not drag it out. I'm going to go back to Kate Hopkins because that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, let me ask you something, Richard. You know, Brent, if you was to vote for somebody, right? There's Leonard Johnson, Billy, Lady M, Cheryl Phoenix, Brother Man, that's Murray, Andrew Muhammad, King Lion, Nubian Jack. Now, and Hawkeye, I don't want nothing negative to say about them. I just want positive. Which one of those two would you vote? Say for about two of them. Why would you vote for them?
Nubian Jack, I know Nubian Jack, yeah, and he's done a lot as an individual. He created a game, a board game for, it was like a Monopoly game, but about black history, which is really useful for kids in school. I think King Lion's got quite a lot of information, but obviously a bit controversial.
That's it, I only asked you for two.
Yeah, no, I was going to say Andrew Muhammad is just two. Another thing again, it's the whole religious thing.
No, I never asked you for none of that. I didn't ask you negative. I just asked you to keep it positive.
So who would I vote for?
Yeah, you already put up two, Nubian Jack and King Lion.
No, I didn't. I just tell you bits about it, but I'd probably vote for Nubian Jack.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we call it a wrap?
No, that'll do. But we need to get away from white people. That's what it is for black people. That's what we need to do.
Well, listen.
That's the only way to survival.
Listen, my African shining prince, Malcolm X, stated, he don't care what color skin you is, so long as you're there for freedom, justice, and equality, and stop the oppression.
No, that's some stupidness.
Hey, listen.
That's stupidness. That's long time ago to talk.
No. Listen, hold up. Richie. Okay, cool. You're right. You're allowed to have your views. I'm just telling. Listen. You're right to have your views. I'm coming from Malcolm X's perspective. That's my African shining prince. It was no white people sent me to prison. It was black people. So if there's a white person out there right now, when we're doing SWAT, wait a minute. Let me finish. Okay, I sent myself to prison. Cool. We're doing SWAT, right? And there's white people out there. Are you out there?
No, I work.
Okay, how many people now? Wait a minute. You know how many thousands of people in Brent, right? Or say hundreds. That's consciously minded. Talk about the black woman and child, that it takes a village to raise one child. How many black people was out there when we doing the SWAT? I could tell you who was out there. Claudette was leading it. She's black. Rasahuro, Trevor, Ian. 5 black people. 2 Caucasian. So I don't want to hear it. You can take your views. I'm willing to work with anybody that's willing to help us with our struggle. That's what I'm willing to do. You have your views. Cool. I'm not telling you to change it.
Cool, man. You can stay there, love then.
Okay, no problem. I have no problem with that. As I said, you understand? It was black females that sent me to prison. You want to say I sent myself to prison? Listen to me carefully, Richie. When I was in New York City, I done a lot of crime. Right? I went to prison for 13 years. I went to prison for doing wrong. I admit it. I was shooting. I was stabbing.
That's what I thought you talking about. I didn't think
right?
I was talking about that. That's what I was talking
right.
about.
No. Because I said over here, it wasn't no white person sent me to prison. And I'm in the UK. And it wasn't a white woman. It wasn't a snow bunny that sent me to prison. It was black females and it was black Rastafarians of the Nation of Islam. So I'm going to take my position that it wasn't a Caucasian person that sent me to prison. And whenever I'm innocent and a Caucasian person sends me to prison for being innocent, then we have a different conversation. Until then, I'm not going to do that. Not to please nobody. Just for the argument's sake. Because, oh, OG, they're going to think that you're a house nigger. Do I give a damn?
So I take it, you consider a relationship with a white woman?
No, I already told you that already, and you know that. Me and you've had that person. No, what you're trying to do, is put me on front, and I've already said it before. And this is what I will say to you. There are so many different black females. Black, short, tall, slim, fat, light, dark. So out of 1 billion females on the planet Earth, that's black. Right? I'm just putting a figure out there. Right? I must be able to find one that's compatible with me. Right? But let's be realistic. If I never had the mindset that I had, right, I would have went with a Caucasian woman, because I would have turned around and said, I don't have nothing to do with a black woman. Because it was black woman that was conscious people then. Dreadlocks, the whole 9 yards. Talking in a positive tone. And the Nation of Islam and the Rastafarians talk about Babylon, and they talk about the police system. And they were the first one. So if if I choose to go with a snow bunny, which it ain't going to happen. But if I choose to go, it's nobody's business but mine. If I walk down the street kissing and say, my boo, I love you, my boo. Ain't no business, but it ain't going to happen. So don't ask me no crazy question, because you know me already, and you know I ain't going to do that.
It's just what you said. I just want
No, you know me better than that. You just trying to put me out there on Front Street. But it's okay, because we're still family. Tell my sister, Jackie, the one that don't like me, none of my sister likes me. I call her today, she won't call me until Christmas to invite me over, and then Richie comes and pick me up, and we go over there, and we go through politics. Anyway, Richie.
At least we get an invite, innit?
True indeed. True indeed.
Listen, good show.
Alright, peace, man. One.
Peace, cool.
Alright. As I said, Richie proved my point. Wazunga causes black to hate black. I don't know about it. I don't know if I can really co-sign that. Peace, you're on the air.
Good morning, OJ.
Peace. Hanging in it the best way possible.
Listen, that's great. Orginal is right. What he said.
Who's this? Oh, pardon me. Is this a day?
Yes, it is.
Peace. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, Lord Jamal is right about what he said in that clip. And the previous caller also made some valid points as far as the funding for the Black Lives Matter movement.
What was that point?
Well, as far as the funding of it, that the money does matter, because a lot of the programs that they've made in establishing their name and their movement, a lot of it has been made possible through the sheer amount of financial backing that they receive and continue to receive. Now, what is also important as well is the willingness of the establishment to recognize them and to try and adopt them as their preferred choice when it comes to dealing with the black community, whether it's here or in America or other places. Now, I'm going to ask you a very quick question. Are you aware of the meeting that took place last week in the council?
No.
Okay, right, yes, please. Last week, when council came up with a French Black Community Action Plan. And one of the things which is in that plan, right, is to, and I'll read it out, word for word, ensure Black Lives Matter remains on the agenda, particularly when media focus and political pressure add Black Lives Matter to the next step of South Forward Together session. Now, they've got this plan, which apparently there was another meeting they had in June. I don't know if you also knew about that, but I'm just finding all this out in the last couple of days. And I'm surprised that, obviously, I didn't know anything about it. You just said that you don't know anything about it. How many people out there actually knew that this was in the pipeline?
Okay, you wanna? How many people? Not too many people. I'm quite sure. If you didn't know about, but what's the point you're trying to make? What's the point?
Who was those that said that the June meeting to put this forward, and then last week, I know all the councillors and everybody agreed on that plan. So who's actually going to be representing the community?
Okay, let me explain that. All right. No, I'm not aware of that meeting that took place. All right. But even if I was, or you was aware, don't take it personal, Ade. Let me rephrase it. The majority of the people that's out there listening now wasn't going to turn up. I used to go to, before it was on 40 Lane, it was Brent Town Hall. You remember 40 Lane up there in Wembley before it moved to the Civic Centre? Can you hear me? Okay. I went up there. When we just got into this, we were going about some gang thing, right? And when we went up there, you had 6 Indians, Asians, right? 3 blacks, and I think maybe 2 white people, or 3 white people and 2 blacks. And the problem is that when they're keeping meetings, right? And this was a black minority ethnic group or something like that, right? And what it was, black people don't turn up. The Indians turn up, and they make sure that their demands, you know what their demands was? They wanted to get permission to be able to have parking when they're having a funeral. Black people don't turn up. So Mr. Seeley was there. I don't know if you know Mr. Seeley. He used to be a magistrate on the magistrate courts or something like that. He's got an OBE, right? MBE, I think he's got. Member of the British Empire, right? And when he saw us come, he turned around and clinged to us because he said, this is what we need. We need representation from our community. Black people don't turn up.
Listen, the meeting, apparently the meeting that they had in June, it was mentioning some key members of the community that attended that.
And who would be, wait a minute, and who would be the key members of our community? Brent, because it's in Brent.
This is what I'm trying to figure out. Who were those that attended? There doesn't seem to be any information about those who attended that June meeting. All the information that is seems to be out there is for the councillors that actually agreed on this plan and set in motion, which was effectively all of them. Now, here's the thing as well, right? The population of Africa is one of the highest as far as the UK is concerned. And within Brent itself, it is the highest. Now, if you are having a council proposing a community action plan for that demographic, you would expect that they would publicize that and then, send out invitations for people to attend a meeting to discuss and agree upon those plans which is going to affect their lives. So fair enough, yeah, people don't turn up to meetings, but how often, when something of this magnitude, there should have been publicized, where many people know about it as possible.
Let me say this.
How often did that ever happen?
Okay, I got 4 minutes before the news and the views kicks in. I'm staying till 1 o'clock. So if you wanted to call back and continue, no problem. But let me say this, right? Black Lives Matter has become globalization. They're global, right? In whatever country that they're in, right, where black people is, they're going to give more credence and recognition to Black Lives Matter because they have taken up the mantle and they've ran with it. We didn't run with it. Now, what's going to happen, right, is that they're going to Lloyd's of London. Lloyd's of London. And guess who's going to get it? They're going to get the lump sum because we've been inactive. And this is why I said, I don't want to hear not too much from black people, especially the men. Because I've been talking about this for the last 10 years and telling them, get yourself together, all right? Because you're supposed to be the vanguards of us. No, I fight against Rasta, I fight against this and I fight against that. And now Black Lives Matter's come up, right? Now they're going to be taking over. When any kind of reparation money is going to be given out, it's going to give straight to black, because remember, Black Life in England is saying that's what they want. So that money is going to go to part of that money.
Yeah, that is it. Because even if our local council is even saying that they're prepared to recognize and adopt them as their preferred choice.
It's not because they put themselves in that position and we didn't put ourselves in that position. That's the problem. They put themselves in that. I'm not going through the theory. I'm just saying at the end of the day, this was open for us from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Back in the days, they was giving people, back in the 70s and the 80s, especially the 80s, the government was giving black people money hand over fist. And they hustled the money, buying marijuana or buying vehicles to take to Jamaica to run minivan, right? So what I'm saying to you is that they had the opportunity and they sat down there and let Black Lives Matter come and take the leadership. Now, when the government's giving out money, if every money was to be given out, part of it's going to go to the Democratic Party because I was going to play an audio soundbite to support that, right? The next part is going to go to the LGBTQ community, right? To make themselves even more popular. Because guess what? They're saying that 2 weeks ago they were supposed to have a gay day parade. It was canceled because of COVID. You have two homosexuals, one male, one female, from the boondocks, different parts of the country. They're talking about they want to have a World Day gay parade. And guess who's going to lead it? Black Lives Matters. So when the money's coming out, so they're going to give them a good portion of the money, the LGBT community, and then another portion now, if anybody will get it, if any group will get it, will be the Nation of Islam. They will get it. Because they got an organized structure, hierarchy, and they will get mills for doing nothing. What have they done? The Rastafarians ain't going to get it.
Like yourself, yeah, I recognize the contributions that the Black Lives Movement has made to bring certain topics to the fore, okay? So, I think, from the looks of it, they're here to stay.
Damn right.
And from the looks of it, they're the preferred choice for the political establishment around the world, basically. So, any organization or community group that's out there, either maybe try and take or try and find a way to work with them. So
too late.
That money being saved?
It's too late.
How?
It's too late. They've already gone through the gate. You're going to chase the horse. The horse has already got a couple furloughs on you. They've gone. You can, because I got something here I was going to read out, but I ain't got enough time because I got like 20 seconds. So do me a favor, a day. If anything, call me back after the news and views. Yeah. Alright, so I'll catch you on the rebound after the news and the views, and that will be in the next 8 seconds. So it will be the news and the views, national and international news. Any questions, you can call in or text in. Catch you on the rebound.
Amiga Radio, 104.1 FM. News and views around your community.
This is the amiga.radio.co.uk news at 12.
Peace. Okay, you talk. She's not a black woman. It's a white woman. But do me a favor. Can you call me at? They're not quite sure, but can you call me at after the news? I would appreciate it because this is what I'm trying to say, that we need to have a collective mind to realize and decipher all the bull. So I really and truly appreciate if you could call me back after the news. All right. All right. Thanks, man. Peace.
That it is not necessary, but in any shop, you do need the mask.
Anyone getting food or drink to take away needs to have their mouth and nose covered. Child Protection refers to surge by 250% in September. The warnings come from one of the biggest departments in the country, which fears cases of neglect and abuse have been overlooked in lockdown. The government's being accused of consistently failing to recognise the impact of coronavirus on the arts. More than £1.5 billion has been aside for the industry, but some MPs claim
Peace.
Yeah, Rosie, listen, I'm going to tell you something, right? If you can, if you get a chance later on today, yeah, they've got the actual plan itself in PDF file on the Brent Council website. So, it might be like you want to sort of see exactly what it is.
If you can find it, because I'm kind of caught up right now. If you can find it and send it to me on a text, and I can look it up from there. All right. But if anything for tomorrow, because I got to go to the bathroom and take a leak anyway.
I'll take the studio phone, the URL of the web page on the council site name from there. You can sort of.
No problem. All right, peace. Facebook masses, thanks for tuning in. We got like a 10-minute break, and we'll get back to y'all.
They tell me that 10% of road accidents are caused by drunken drivers. So why don't the other 90 of you get off the road and let me drive in peace?
Laugh about it, but as a driver, it's not just your life that's at stake. Don't drink and drive.
Hey, I'm trying to get associates and your mobile is a problem. You know how long it takes major network companies to repair your mobile? Well, don't worry, there's a way to get through. Repair all major brands, software updates, battery testing, RF testing, refurbishment, technical support, 15 to 45-minute repairs in most cases. Nokia, Samsung, Care Repair, located at 8 Glengar Road, Kilburn, London, NW6 7EP, 1 block away from McDonald's. Telephone 6884.
Blue Mountain Peak caters for all your festival holiday needs. We have all your favorite Afro-Caribbean products. We also carry pure flow seasoning, ackee, halibut, mackerel, smoked ham, rice, fresh Afro-Caribbean bread, vanilla peas, and much more. All on special offer. Blue Mountain is in the heart of housing. 2-8 Craven Park Road, housing. NW10 4AD. Telephone 0208 965 3859. Our website is www.bluemountainpeak.com. Blue Mountain Peak.
Monster Jerk, we have curry mutton, oxtail, brown stew fish, roti fillings, breakfast menu, porridge, cornmeal, banana, fried dumplings, drinks, homemade Irish moss, sorrel, pineapple punch, soups, red pea soup, mutton soup. Open hours 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. Minimum order £15. Local delivery. Address 150 Church Road, Wilston, NW10 9NH, opposite Church Road Market. Telephone 0203 632 2572. We are friendly and cook with love. Master Jerk Chicken. We are the masters.
20 years ago, I helped create a gang called the Crips. Today, I'm speaking to you from death row. I never imagined that the Crip gang would spread throughout California, throughout the nation, throughout the world. And I deeply regret the legacy that it left, because it left a legacy of genocide, black on black genocide. And I apologize for my part in it. But I am deeply encouraged to see you here today. That lets me know that I'm not alone in deeply regretting this legacy and seeing it for what it is. And no one can have a better influence on gang violence or gang culture than gang members themselves, and therefore best positioned to reverse this course of violence. But we must do work. We must get out there and we must forge peace. We must stop all of this madness, because at the end of the day, we have only ourselves to blame. We must have a do or die attitude, as we were as street warriors, to rebuild our culture and to create a new lasting legacy, the legacy of peace.
Peace, peace, peace. It is 10 minutes after the hours of 12 o'clock. You're still in tune to the original OG, aka Uncle, the Corporal. That's still in the house till the hours of 1 o'clock. All right. First of all, I got to give a big shout out to the Cardiff masses, Harrogate, Camberwell, Coventry, Leeds, Islington, Poland, Finland, Greenland. Peace. You're on the air. Peace. Peace. Say something. I guess you don't want to say nothing. Hold up. Peace. Say something. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Repeat that again.
Winston calling from Harrow Store.
Okay, peace.
Yeah. I would like to say different answers to one question. Because you know, there's a lot of issues to be resolved, so I don't think there's one answer to any questions you pose about the holiday situation, so different issues to be resolved. And the other guy talking about Africa and most people in general about Africa and we have to have a foothold here in the West Island in particular. Then we can transfer some of the ideas, some of the machinery, or some of the ideas and the benefits that we get from this country that we can implement it. We can just get up and go Africa. So we have to organize centralized transfer team. We've been here over 400 years, so we have to do some kind of back and forth team to get it right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you a question. If you was, you're not from Brent, but it doesn't matter. The person that we're talking about really and truly has to reside in Brent. Because we have community activists, a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
But we don't have no leaders. If I gave you Nubian Jack, King Lion, Lady M, Cheryl Phoenix, Brother Man, Andrew Muhammad, Leonard Johnson, and Billy. Right? Out of those, because those are the names that seem to be coming up on a regular basis. Right? So now, if you had an option, who would you vote for? And when I say vote, it doesn't mean during a time of peace, everybody will die for somebody. But during a time of war, that they will still be there. Now, who would you vote for?
Well, can I answer you, in a 360 degrees? Because I've got an alien. Why? Because I can't go there anymore. Because in Jamaica, it was Nani who freed up Jamaica, not the man there. And a lot of our history, and mostly women. So that got to the lady MRP, so that got to the lady, that's not woman. And a lot of time we put down the gender, because them can't do this and can't do that. But I think they will articulate it. So in that regard,
Okay. Anything else you would like to say before we call it a wrap?
No. That's my little piece and that's it for now.
Alright.
But I'm really stating that I would agree with that particular statement that the woman said. We would have 10 different answers because there's no one answer to all of these things. There's different aspects of things to be said. So that
yeah, but you see,
whether she
no, that might be true, but I'm saying no. From where I'm sitting, I'm saying no. I know if y'all made me a community leader, which ain't gonna happen, but I know where I would have went straight away. It's accountability, and the people in this country don't seem, or people around the world don't seem to hold accountability. Accountability, right? The first person I would have stepped to was the National Black Police Association. Now let me give you an example, right? Because this whole thing about George, it was about police brutality. It never had nothing to do with institutional racism within the schooling or within the housing or mental health. It was a particular incident that happened, and it was the police got their knee on his neck, right? Now we got Black Lives Matters. They decide to make a big issue out of it, rightfully so, right? But then I'm saying nothing's going to change. I've always said that it won't change because no sooner after that you had Bianca Williams. Was it Williams? Bianca Williams, right? She got pulled out of her vehicle. They didn't have to come down on her like that, right? But it still happened. Then a couple days later, and I think last week, Thursday, there was this dude, an Indian dude, where they the police put his foot on his neck, right? So nothing has changed, and the reason why nothing has changed because there's no accountability. Then who is accountability? Crusader Dick? No. The woman that was on that program, Helena Ball, Assistant Police Commissioner for the Met Police, hold her. No. Why, if I was on the panel, the first thing I would have said, where is the National Black Police Association? Where are they? That's the first person I'm looking at, because we're talking about George Floyd. That's the problem, right? Now, let me give you an example. Right, so last week, right, there was a killing in Kilburn. All right, so I saw Hampton Pass early in the morning, and I was walking because I couldn't catch my bus. And there was a black woman right at Victoria Road and Kilburn High Road where Mickey D's is at. There was a killing. So I said, as a black woman, good morning. All right? She said, good morning. I said, how are you doing? She said, fine, thank you. And how am I? I'm good. Can I ask you a question? Now, straight away, she might be thinking, why is there so much police and taping up the place? Right? So I asked her, could you please tell me who's in charge of the National Black Police Association? Her response was, well, I don't know. So it's like, yes, but you're a black police officer. You're supposed to know. But I don't know. So now I'm starting to get an attitude with this woman. So I'm saying to her, but listen, you know about Black Lives Matter. You know about death in police custody. Well, it's not. So now it's too early, and plus it was police out. It was a homicide, so I had to be careful. So I had to turn around and say, you know something? You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. Now that's, I'm saying straight up, that itch, I said it. That itch would see a black person in the police station getting beat up or abused and wouldn't say a word. Where was the accountability of that? No, I don't want to hear that. I don't care. I don't care what she is, how she changed, or anything like that. The point is she has responsibility, a moral, not even an ethical, a moral responsibility to know that the black person getting beat up, right? And if she's scared because of a job, because she likes her job, right? She needs the money to look after her family, no problem, right? But it's a union. All she had to do, she see a black person get beat up, or what is called stop and search, and she realized that disproportionate blacks didn't stop. I'm going to report badge so-and-so to the union. That will make them civilized, but they're not hearing none of that, so they continue doing what they're doing. And I'm saying it's accountability. I wouldn't hold the Rastafarians of the Nation of Islam accountable for that. I'm saying if anything, we're going to hold these people accountable. I don't hold the Rastafarian rush. I hold David Lammy. This is what they're going to do. The Conservative Party and the Labour Party as black MPs. Oh, you know how they are. They don't do nothing anyway. They just gave them a way out to get out of cut free. Anyway, that was me just running my mouth. Anything you...
Yeah, we need support from our mind. What's going on, so we can apply. So, because some of us don't realize, don't really find what's going on. Yeah, I just think,
You think we don't know what's going on? You really believe that?
Some of us.
The majority of us that claim that we're culturally inclined, we know all these things. If you're talking about Lean Moat, Lana, Dryfoot, Patsy, and Killing Tech Life, no, they're not into that. They're into badness. Although my brethren and sisters, we need them. We still need them, but that's not their thing. It's the country, because they will follow us. They will help defend us. No problem. Appreciate the call. All right? All right. Peace, man. One. Who's saying this? Greens, I call for Lady M in the voting from RER. Thanks. That's 746. 746. Okay. Oh, no, that's not 746. That's 695. Right? And then 7468. Wazunga caused black to hate black. That was in the good old days. Black got killed, black, whoa. But that's the good old days. We know about these things. And it's not Wazungu, or Wazungu cause. It's not them. We know this in the past. It's not the average white person that lived next door to you. And we're not talking about, let's not get the United States mixed up with England. I don't want to hear about the fox and the wolf. I don't want to hear that. That England is the... We're in the UK, so let's stay focused on the UK, right? And it's not white people then. The white person that lives next door to you is not your problem. Right? They have the same problem as us. Basic, really and truly, they call them what we call in the United States, trailer park trash. Pardon me. To any Caucasian people, don't take it personal. That's just the way they call y'all in the United States. And I'm just repeating it over here. Right? But they live next door to you. Do you think they're multimillionaires? Do you think they have the power to do anything to stop you? No. Google Brent Black Community Action Plan. All right, I'll do that in a minute. Thanks. Let me do this though. So Kate Hopkins is correct. The woman is definitely correct. I'm gonna find. Let me see if I can find this while I'm doing something else on the computer. Come on. Now this is. I need to narrate this one here too, but I'm gonna let it play. Lady M had sent me this. I'm gonna have to narrate it at the same time. But let me see.
I'm Wilson, founder of the Wilson Academy. The riots that are taking place all over the country, now all over the world, are inevitable. And contrary to the opinions of some, the riots are both effective and necessary. The problem is not a sustainable path to what we want. But then what next? What are we supposed to do? That's what this message is about. What we're going to do. Young people, and college students, and high school students, you're ready to act. You're ready to fight. But no one's listening to you. They just keep telling you to go home. You're ready to come. In order to find a solution, we must first understand why this is happening. The reason that officers override and private citizens acting as if they are officers of the law continue to murder us is because we can offer no consequence. For example, the reason you don't see Jewish people being murdered by police is because the Jewish community can provide economic consequence. They own things collectively. They're well invested in the media and the law. And they've built a strong community by focusing on exclusive internal growth and wealth building. But when members of the black community are murdered by white officers or vigilantes and peacefully protest, focus on whatever election is upcoming, and ultimately there are no convictions for the criminal. There's something that we miss about how the civil rights movement was effective. Protesting was just the beginning. It was to unify the people and bring attention to the issue. But the next step was always economic action, boycotting, investing in our community. Then that economic action is what forced legislation. The reason our efforts continue to fail is because we keep asking for change instead of forcing it. But secondly, because we keep skipping a critical step in the process. So what do we want? Well, in the short term, we demand justice. In the long term, we demand reform. But we must be specific if we are to hold our nation accountable. So we demand three things. One,
listen.
We demand convictions and equitable and appropriate prison all officers involved in the murders of Breonna.
Okay, I've been saying that from way back from under Obama's administration. I said he could pass an executive order, right, to stating that anybody that guns down a black person on without no probable cause, right, then they get second-degree murder, not third-degree, not negligent manslaughter or anything like that. They're supposed to get second-degree murder. That's 25 to life, right? Obama could have passed that to his attorney general. His attorney general could pass it to the assistant attorney general and the federal attorney general and to the states. He could have done this, right? Also, when somebody gets found with a hate crime, they're supposed to get first-degree murder, depending on what state you're in. Right? First-degree murder means you can get the dancing chair. You can be dancing all the while, right? So this is what was needed. Because a lot of people were saying, oh, we need policy, we need policy. It's not policy changes. It's to enforce what's there, right? And it's the black people that are supposed to enforce it. But now, because Black Lives Matters, push the people there, right? That's why in Georgia, you find in Georgia right now that somebody gunned down a black dude, right? And they gave him second-degree murder, and they're looking to give him first-degree murder. He can get the dancing chair. I've been telling you all that for the longest, right? Now, another thing is that when it comes to compensation, because George Floyd family is going to get a whole bunch of money, right? But it's not going to be from that police officer or officers. It's going to be from the state. And it's taxpayers' money that's going to be given out 50 million, 60 million because of what took place, and it's globalized, right? So he's going to get, they're going to get about 60 million. Even with Mark Dugan, when everybody acted up and riot, I never heard what happened with Mark Dugan. They made an out-of-court settlement or some kind of settlement, but it's not to be disclosed to the public. I don't see anything called Mark Dugan Institution or Foundation. I don't know. Maybe it is. But anyway, get back to the United States. So now what they ask, I'm saying is, let that police officer get 20, that's got 25 to life, or getting a dancing chair, because he ain't going to get the dancing chair overnight. He's going to appeal it. So it's going to take another 20 years while he's sitting on death row. But he pays. That means if he gets a little job in a prison sweeping the hallways, they're going to give him £10 every 2 weeks, or probably £10 a week. 5 of that has to go back to what you call it. I forgot the word that they use. Compensation. Right? That's got to go back. His family will not be able to get the police pension. Right? They have to suffer too. That will make them civilized. Period. Alright? So what it was is to hold people accountable. The mayor of Minnesota was black. Right? The police commissioner and all of them is black. Where are these individuals? They know. Obama know. That itch-ass dude turns around and says on national TV that the police and the community needs to work together. I don't recall the community gun down police. It's the police gunning down the community. Alright? So, he's got a good point. Start enforcing the law. There's nothing to be changed. Not right there. Just enforce it.
And George Floyd and all parties involved in the mission were not honored. 2. We demand legislation that ensures independent review of public safety officers. And 3, we demand a modification to the standards by which officers can be prosecuted. I'm sure you've heard people say, if you want change, get to the polls. Now, I'm not suggesting voting is useless, but the reality is voting will not solve our problems. In fact, we cannot allow ourselves to become distracted by political affiliation. The only way to defend the seat is to show strength, both economically and physically. So first, let's address physical strength.
Listen to this.
It is both irrational and un-American for us to continue to be met with force and not respond in time. This is why we need all able black Americans to exercise their constitutional rights and legally acquire a firearm. Perhaps a robbery wouldn't be allowed right now, had he been able to defend himself against the thugs who under Georgia's standing law, or he would have been within his legal rights. All my gangbangers, my blood, my crips.
All right, I'm going to get to gangbanging and so forth. Now, hear what he said? This is the UK. You're not going to be able to arm. That's just out of it. The Constitution, it states that the First Amendment, that you're allowed to bear arms. Right? But, picture this. Really, you'll be bombarded with a lot of video of a group of black people there, ex-military people or whatever, walking the streets in Ninja Turtle outfit. Well, that's what we call them in the prison when they come to shake down the unit and act stupid. We call them Ninja Turtle, right? So you got a Ninja Turtle, they got an all-combat thing and they're walking on the streets. I'm not quite sure you've seen it, right? With at least 400 to 500 black people walking, right? But what is it they're actually doing? A show of force is great. These are supposed to be militias, right? But they're not going up against white militias. What they're saying is that there were some white militias then that they wanted to show that they're there, cool. But you know that ain't going to happen because the police is going to stop that anyway, right? But what are they supposed to be doing? Walking around with all these machine guns and so forth. They're not doing nothing really and truly. Try to do something, then do it like the Black Panthers. You are what you call it, you're overseeing the police. Let the police do their job in the community, right? But you're there as a president to make sure that they don't get beat up. I don't see that. And understand this, we know about COINTELPRO. We know that this leader, he is under the scrutiny, he's under the magnifying glass, and anybody that's involved in, I'm not telling you telling them not to be involved, I'm just telling you what this Baron Wilson is talking about from the Wilson Academy about arming. You do have black people out there arming, right? But what's going to cause, right, is that those same black militias is not going up against the police. That ain't going to happen. The federal government, all agencies, intelligent agencies, including the National Security Agency, right? They're going to be having a microscope all over them. And you see, if you're one of those individuals that say you got your mask on and you feel protected, when it's all over, don't think the FBI ain't got no vehicle cameras looking at who's going into the parking lot, who's jumping in, and take down their tag numbers and start following them to see how radical they are. So it sounds great theoretically, right? If they was going to say we're overseeing the police, I'd have said, damn, yeah, Black Panthers, yeah, strong, because they're not going around and fighting, but they're walking in the street and people in England are saying, yeah, how great it is, da, 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 da. But the reality of it is, they've got bigger guns. You can talk about the United States government. You ain't going to beat the United States government. It ain't happening. And if the United States people in the United States, they'll call for their kissing cousins, England, France, Europe, Russia, Canada, to give them a helping hand, because those are their kissing cousins. And their kissing cousins ain't going to leave them to suffer, according to them, under the hands of black people.
Everybody, I'm asking you to help us protect our community from the white supremacist group with arms. You are already armed, and you're not afraid to die. I hope that you see fit to call us troops and unite the greater common enemy in order to protect our children, our mothers, our sisters, aunties, and grandmas. Now we must address how we fight economically. America doesn't particularly care about black lives. If it did, we wouldn't still be facing overtaking.
I'm gonna stop it in a minute.
We have to start speaking.
Gang members. I've been saying to y'all, the only problem in the United States, he's correct. You have the Crips and the Bloods, you have a hierarchy. You have 1-star general up to 5-star generals. So if there's a Crips and the Bloods, you know you can go to the leadership and say, listen, there's a problem, right? It's not that hard. But in the UK, we don't have that. We have so many splinter groups. You're from an estate, you have a little click over here, click over here, click over there. You have them all over the place, 5 and 6 here, and each one is their own little thing. So, and really and truly, for all your so-called gangsters, you should not have been letting that little 2-year-old baby get shot in their head. If it's an accident, I know things do happen. Accidents do happen. But that's the responsibility that you're going to have to bear for the rest of your life, that you shot a 2-year-old in the head. I know you can't be that tough or claim that you're that tough, that it doesn't play on your conscience. But what you're supposed to do is to protect the children. You are supposed to protect the elderly people then, right? That senior citizen that's 80, 90 years old, right? You know she knows you or he knows that they're going to be peeping through their window, right? You know they're going to see what's going on. They're scared to death to come out to their house. They're supposed to come out because of y'all out there protecting them. So you're going to see Mrs. Green, Mrs. White, Mrs. Malcolm, or whoever it is you're going to see, or Mr. So-and-so as elderly, carry their bags. Because remember, you do the vampire shift. All right? But whatever it is, help them be something in the community. But you're not. The reason why is because we have some older dudes, that's lame-ass dudes, right, that's been through the school of hard knocks, in their state, lying down, watching this garbage football where a whole bunch of racism is within the football. I don't even know how y'all can watch football. You're supposed to boycott it, just like you're supposed to be talking about the black pound and economics. You're supposed to boycott football because there's a lot of racism within there. The Board of Education, you can do something about it. Boycott it. There's many ways we can do things. So getting back now anyway, as far as Baron Wilson is concerned, he's going to talk about economics. Let it run out.
Effective immediately. You will only buy food from black-owned restaurants. This does not apply to grocery stores if you don't feel there are enough black-owned grocery stores nationwide at this point to accommodate the mission. However, there are many grocery items you can find on sites like WeBuyBlack.com. Now, our black-owned restaurant initiative means that you will need to avoid any of your favorite restaurants. But you will discover new black-owned places.
All right, I'm going to stop it here. Let me say this. The United States, you do have what you call black community. Geographically, you do have them. You had have Tulsa back in the days. So yes, that can apply. In the UK, we don't have that. We don't have a black community where every shop along the block is black. We don't have that. We have a mixture, right? And so what he's saying is, if there is shops out there you're buying, right, cool. But some of the restaurants, that I know of? No. Some of them got a nasty attitude. And it's not even the owner, it's not even the proprietor, it's the workers behind the door. They got a nasty attitude, like you slept with them last night and never pleased them or something. It's mainly the females. They act like they got rocks in their jaws, and it's like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. All I want is a meal. All right, wait a minute.
I'm telling you, next thing I want to move to like most of these Caribbean shops.
Any advice? When you go to a Jamaican restaurant, know what you want before you go in. And when you order it, stick to it because they get very upset if you try to change your order. Okay? I go to this restaurant. It's on Rockaway and Fulton Street. Great food. And I just fiend for it. You ever had that type of food that you just gotta have it? And I know I'm gonna have problems when I go in there. So I gotta build myself up before I go in. I'm outside the store just Namyoho Renge Kyo. Namyoho Renge Kyo. I'm like, I gotta talk myself up. Stay focused, stay focused. You want an oxtail with rice and peas. Stay focused. I go in there and this lady is the rudest woman on the planet. She's sitting watching soap operas. I'm ringing the bell. I don't even ring the bell hard. I'm nice. The bell is sitting there. I'm like, ting. Namyoho. She don't even acknowledge me. As soon as the commercial come on, what do I want? I'm like, relax, focus, focus, focus. All right, listen, I need an oxtail with rice and peas. Go. She start making my food. You want plantain? You know what? If you think I need plantains, go ahead and put that in there. I don't want no trouble. I don't want any problems. And then halfway through, something was biting at me. I was like, nah, you know what? I don't want the oxtail. Let me get a curry. No. Curry chicken. I'm not paying for more to them. How you gonna thug a plate of food out of me? So I got my curry chicken and oxtail. Because you gotta do what the angry lady's saying.
All right, that's in the United States. I know you're from Northwest London or in England. You know what I'm talking about. So when this dude is talking from the United States perspective, you have the option to go to other things. When it comes to the restaurants, right? Our people, Caribbean people, especially Jamaican people, when you go into their restaurant, you think I'm lying? Take a listen to this.
I'm telling you, next thing I want to move to like most of these Caribbean shops. They don't know nothing about customer service. I advise all these employers before you employ these people to work. Make sure that they know something about customer service. Because I realize nowadays you're going to these Caribbean shop and they have one like a big them. When they're going to get each up on their phone, they might chat to Ishi and the old lady, they look on WhatsApp and they do a bag of things. You make an order, then take the whole year to come through the order. If you look at that order, you see them, you act like a question, but listen man. You see, when you never want to work with you, you get about on the bed and come in there man then place. And if you know the business run off a good customer service. Because if you run a customer them from the shop, they not come back. And when you lose customer, that means they want to.
All right, so you got that. All right, I think that might be in England too, as a matter of fact, we hear him talking. All right, so let's get back to what Baron Wilson is saying. Got some valid points, but you got to kind of look at it still.
Understand that this is only phase one of a larger plan. We will implement phase 2 in the weeks to come. But this is something that everyone can do. So what's the point? And why will this work? According to both Nielsen and the CDC, black people eat more fast food than Indians. By diverting billions of dollars, we will accomplish 2 things. 1, change is not free. Supporting only black restaurants money we can ultimately leverage to create the changes we all want to see. And 2, it uses our money we're already spending anyway, to create powerful billionaire allies. These companies will do what is necessary to get our dollars back. If that means helping us to meet our objectives, well then that's what they'll do. There are a few important notes to make when concerning this plan. This is not a boycott. We are not punishing white businesses. We are simply consumers who are making a choice to exclusively support black restaurants in the strategic interest of justice and reform. Please note that we are exclusively supporting black-owned restaurants, not minority-owned. The terms black and minority are not interchangeable. So, to my Chinese, Korean, Arabic, and Indian restaurant owners, we have nothing against you personally. But if we don't do this now, there will be none of us left to buy your products anyway.
All right. That's Baron Wilson from the Wilson Academy, the United States, made some valid points. He's the only one really and truly tried to put down something that I heard that makes any kind of sense. All right? But they're in the United States. Pardon me. So some of those things that he's saying can be applicable in the United States, not in the UK. We just don't have the luxury. We don't have a black community. We don't have a place where everywhere you walk along is just black people. Right? In our community, it's diverse. It's a melting pot. So with the restaurants, right? Yeah, you want to spend by going to the restaurants and spend your money, cool. But you got to realize also that even when you spend within the restaurant, what are they doing? Are those people in the restaurant, those people in the black community, are they regenerating and putting it back in the community, or are they taking their money and go somewhere else and buy their plantains from some other people then, Caucasian people then, or Indian people? When they're getting their seasoning, are they getting it from their own, or do they have to go to somebody else? When you go into their shop, do they give you a blight of £1 until you can come back next day? All right? These are the kind of questions, and we know that a lot of them, that when they do get the money, all right, they don't give a damn about us anyway. All right? I went into a restaurant like that. Everybody keeps talking about this grocery store, and I went in there a couple years ago. I was working with them in one form, in one shape or another. I'm working with them, right? And I must went in there one day, and I was short of 50p. They had rocks in their drawers. I said, I'll never go back in there again after. And I said, I'm not going to slide them either. I'm just going to let it go. So really and truly, we have a problem. So did he make some points? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. More than the average person, like these idiots over here. Let me rephrase it. Don't call the people idiots. That's not nice. These people over here, Stephen Lawrence's brother, wants to change within the Board of Education, right? That's Stuart Lawrence's name is. Chantel Joseph, BLM journalist. She wants to dissolve the police. Sean Bailey, he wants them to have classes, therapy. David Osago, he was a historian. I have nothing to say to him. John Barnes, that was a kick and a half in the ass. You know what he's trying to say on the TV? You need to go to was it ITV Ketchup? Go there and put in Stephen Lawrence has Britain changed, and you can hear the asinine state. John Barnes, here's what he's going to say. Oh, don't blame just the police state. Don't blame the police or the football players. Then it's a bigger thing than that. They have to go way when dinosaurs used to walk the earth and when Caucasians first came about. That's where we have to go and reset their mindset. So Kate Hopkins was correct. I'm telling you. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. It's accountability. And we've been in the UK long enough and deep enough to have accountability and hold people accountable. Alright? And as I said, who do we hold accountable for Windrush? I don't hold the National Black Police Association for that. I don't hold the Big Four Rastafarians for that. No. I hold Dawn Butler, David Lammy, Chuka Amanda, all of them black MPs, whether it be independent, conservative, or Labour. Dawn Butler's from Brent. What we need is somebody from Brent, right, that can be able to put Dawn Butler and tell her, you need to call them over. We have a meeting in Stonebridge with all those black politicians, and they shouldn't have no problem with transportation because they get 2 set of monies. They're allowed to have one house in the city and one in boondocks, so they are right. They make over 1,000 a month, so they are 1,000 a week, so they are right. So they come over and meet and ask, what is it we want? And whoever it is that we pick from our community, whether it be Nubian, Jack King Lion, Lady M, Cheryl Phoenix, Brother Man, Andrew Muhammad, Leonard Johnson, or Billy. We need, or Hawkeye. I don't see Hawkeye. Right? Hawkeye. Right? Hawkeye is a good candidate, to be honest. Alright? Hawkeye is a very good candidate. Right? Because Hawkeye knows. Alright? Hawkeye knows Dawn Butler, and he's been a staple person in the community for the last umpteen years, and he's from Brent, right? That would be somebody to have that thing. When Dawn Butler and all of them, this is your responsibility. It's your fault. And we're not asking you to go above your pay grade. We're not asking you that. What we're saying to you is do like Bernie Grant. Stay within your pay grade, but do something. Look over your shoulders. And you got to clean up the Windrush because you made a mess of it. You coming out there and going on one knee, because I saw Dawn Butler, I think it was in Gladstone Park, on one knee. For what? What? Forget about that. That's not your responsibility right now about police custody. That's the National Black Police Association. That black woman that I saw the other day, she is part of the problem. And there's a whole bunch of black police that they're part of the problem. Why blame the white police now? We've been knowing about it from day dot. Right? So don't blame the white police, because you know what they're going to do anyway. It's like looking at a lion and want to go and pet a lion. You know what's going to happen if you pet the lion. Leave the lion alone. It's going to tear you a new one. Leave the lion alone. You know, if there's a snake and it's a cobra, one of them big ass python, why would you want to go over and pet it? Leave it alone. It's going to wrap itself around you and squeeze it. It's going to squeeze everything out of you. Pardon me, I was just about to say something crazy and then management's going to call me and say, oh gee. Right? So what I'm saying to you is, we know how the police is. And there's some white good police out there. All they would like to see is you black police take the lead. Follow. Trust me. Some of them black police that don't give a damn, like the black police woman I saw the other day that don't give a damn. But when she's seen her colleagues and other people taking that step, she will take the step forward. Alright? And so forth. So what I'm saying to you is, put the responsibility on the people then that's in that position. So National Black Police Association, I've got a list of things that I would have went into the Black Police Association. The policies changing. No, let me it's not policies changing, it's to implement policies. Implement them. Right? But as I said, I'm not going to put it out on the air because a lot of you are going to hear it and run with it and make a mess of it, like some of the things I've done in the past. Let people hear about it. It's okay, I was going to call somebody's name, my brethren, but now I'm not going to do that. Right? And they end up causing a problem. So I'm not going to put down, because I've already written down some steps and plans for the National Black Police Association. Alright? But, as I said, that's what we need in our community right about now. We need somebody from Brent, right? Somebody from Brent to represent us. And that person has to be able to have connections, deep connection within the Rastafarian, because they're an army. Alright? Deep within them. Somebody within the Nation of Islam, all we know is that they're good for just a show, right? But they still can serve a purpose. The Pan-Africanists and the Nuwapian, somebody from our community that has good ties with them. I don't have good ties with them. They don't like me, and I don't like them either. You don't like me, I don't give a damn. You can take a long walk off a short pier for all I care, right? So they don't like me, so it wouldn't be making sense me even entertaining that thought. But somebody that they can all get along with and that they can turn around and start representing Brent and just maybe other communities seeing Brent is doing this, take leadership and say it's a new day, it's a new dawning because Black Lives Matters has made it global. Alright? As a matter of fact, going to Black Lives, there's something I need to read from the newspaper. 12 minutes left. Right? As I said to you before, this is in the newspaper. COVID put woman back a full century. A sequel to How to Be a Woman, More Than a Woman is out in September, expanding on her arguments about gender. In it, she tries to re-explain socialism and dismantling taboos around discussing classes. The uniting thing in Black Lives Matters, feminine, so they want to, uniting thing in Black Lives Matters. Feminism and LGBTQ plus issues is class. So it's Black Lives Matters, Black Lives Matters, Black Lives Matters. Get them a round of applause. Black Lives, because that's what you're done. You put them to be the leaders of the black liberation struggle. Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X would be turning to know that you all have all this information, wealth of information, and what did you do with it? Nothing. Nothing. All you can do is sit down and point your fingers at the white man this, the white man that, the white man this. And we've been hearing it too long. Too long. We know how they are. You see the lion over there minding his business, then leave the lion minding his business. Alright? If the lion is coming your direction, then run. Alright? then leave the lion alone. But why would you want to go over there and pet the lion and talk when you know what's going to happen? So we know how the police are. Do you have racist police within the force? Yes. And they don't care how many therapy you give them. Let me give you a good example. If a white dude beat me up, I did get beat up when I was a kid, right? But if a white dude beat me up, right, I'm going to say, yes, I hate Whitey. Kill Whitey, kill Whitey. But there's nothing I can really do about it, to be honest. And get away with it? There's not much I can really do about it, right? But then I get a job as a police officer, or I get a job as a correction officer, or I get a job in housing, right? And then I'm a police officer and I see a white dude. I'm going to plant him with a key of cocaine. I just changed that man's life. So all the therapy that's sitting down in a classroom and say, well, what do you think about white people, OG? Well, I think they're nice people. I get along with them. I grew up with them. I got some white friends too. Yes, I got white friends. Yes, I got white friends. All right. But the minute I walk out of that office, Iggers, I hate him with a passion. So what, what's his name? Sean Bailey is proposing is madness. But guess what? If the tables was turned, do you think white people would allow that to happen? No. Why don't you think, just like that dude there, Baron Wilson, what did he say? And I said it to you many times in the past. When last have you heard them beat or shoot a Jewish person in the UK or even the United States? When last have you heard them beat a homosexual or shoot a homosexual in England or the United States? You don't hear it happen. You know why? Because it's accountability. Because they say we're not taking it. But we as black people take it and they want to point out friggin' fingers at everybody else. Well, the white man this and the white man that, and Willie Lynch and all that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Stop making excuses. All right? Take full responsibility. Put the blame on who. If the cap fits you, wear it. If it don't apply to you, let it fly. But put the blame on people then. Criticize them. Show them that they're wrong. So that maybe that we'll clean out our own house. Clean out the garbage that's in our house. All right? That means somebody like Budger Banton, right? Tell him to trim. Clean out the house. Tell him to trim and come back again. You can't be a Rastafarian and wave your natty and talk about Rasta and you're a drug dealer. Selling heroin and cocaine? Weed is different. Cocaine? But yet you all embrace him. Where was accountability? Where was accountability for Jacure? Jacure's a rapist. Rastas don't rape. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Rastas don't rape. Where's accountability? He's got his name as Jacure. Ja is a spiritual name. It carries a power. If your name is Jadis or Rastat, it carries power. So why is he allowed to stand up on a stage, jumping up and down, flashing his natty, representing Rasta when he's a rapist? Where's accountability? Where's accountability on that black policewoman, right, that was allowing a black person to get beat up, the one I saw in Kilburn? Where's accountability? There is no accountability in our community. But the white people, though, they're holding you accountable. Fought too hard and see if they don't hold you accountable. In the United States, you had two children pointing fingers at one another like a gun. These are white people that didn't have nothing to do. They made a report to the authorities that you have two white children. That's white people with too much time on their hand. But the point is they do something about it. And all you're going to get here from black people, especially in the UK, forget about the United States. In the UK, excuses after excuses after excuses and no accountability. We're on Omega, I'm on Omega. Then hold me accountable. I run off my mouth on a constant basis. You hear me for the last few hours. Then hold me accountable. Hold the presenters on Omega accountable. Hold the people at Galaxy accountable. Hold the Rastafarians, the Nation of Islam, the Hopkins, the Pan-African. Hold them accountable. Don't hold RJR, Unique Beats and Roots accountable from Northwest London. Alright? Because they already told you this is what they're doing. So don't hold them. They will join later on if they see leadership. That's no problem because you can listen to their radios that you can hear. A lot of them do follow Omega. So that's not even the issue. Alright? But don't sit down there and hold them accountable when you're supposed to be holding Omega accountable. Don't hold that Limo Line Dryfoot accountable when you're supposed to be holding Dawn Butler accountable. Hold the Black Teachers Association as in the Board of Education. Hold them accountable. Don't hold the white headmaster, because he doesn't have the power to hold you down. Even if he did, you have enough power to oust him out of his position. The Jews do it. That's why I said take a page out of the Jewish community's book and take a page out of the homosexuals' book. But here's what you're done. You took a page out, you didn't even take a page out of the homosexual book. You choose to put them ahead of you. And you choose to follow the homosexual community, the LGBT community, the Black Lives Matters community. As I said before, LGBT, Black Lives Matters, and out there not fighting against you per se. No, I gave you a round of applause because you're doing way more and you're embarrassing us. You're embarrassing myself. Why? Because we were supposed to be doing this. I'm taking accountability, all right, that yes, it's my fault, all right, because I was not part of a group to do something. So hold me accountable. So Black Lives Matters, LGBTQ community, all right, you're doing good as far as I'm concerned. Although I'm not going to follow you one bit, you can bet that ain't going to happen. You better ask somebody about me. You need to follow. No. Anyway, looking at the time, finished running off the mouth. I ain't even heard from Nigel and the posse. Well, shoot, Nigel.
Nigel.
Miss Dirty Song. I ain't playing no song.
Pull it up again for me on the charge them, you know, they are all nice guys for remand, you know,
Yo, I told you about that, Nigel. I've been telling you for the last 10 years, just like everybody else. You do not choose to listen. You choose to hear. I said to you, I'm a grown man. I'm a triple great grandfather. Stop calling me youth. All right? But I overstand. I'm going to allow you because you're in the penitentiary and you may be stressed out. CEO's giving, and you know which CEO might be giving you the hardest time? Take a guess. The black CEO. Yeah, yes, I said it. They're the ones that's going to give. I was in the Ville, and it was a black CEO wanting to give me a hard time. All right, but he doesn't know that where I'm coming from. So I said, I don't have nothing to do with you. I stayed in my cell. I wouldn't even talk to him. And I wanted him to know, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. All other black inmates was running out. They want to talk to him about Arsenal and Chelsea. I'm on the landing, on the tier. The minute I see him, I go to my cell and stay in my cell and lock the door too. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. I want him to know. So when he's calling yard, on the yard, just because he's there, I cut off my nose and spite my face. I'm not going to know yard just because I want him to know I'm a different character. Anyway, it's on that time of day for me to call it a rid up and break out and leave in the capable hands of the one and only Mr. Otto. As for myself, I'm going to hit the brick, got to hit the block because I got things to do. So let me leave you like this. Peace to the gods and goddesses. I leave you in the name of the Most High, whoever or whatever you call the Most High. I leave you with the universal languages of the words of peace. Peace, y'all. Remain safe till I catch you on the rebound. The Most High will and will be tomorrow. I hope God guides you and your family in everything you do. I also hope and pray that you continue to grow intellectually so that you and I can see where we fit into this world picture. So that you and I can make a change for our youth, avoid the gun, the knife, the drugs, and the gang culture. And to my sons and sonsettes, I don't call you sons and sonsettes because you're mine. I call you sons and sonsettes because each and every one of yours shine. And we don't want to lose those two shining stars. We don't want society to say they've taken two children with one boy, to be in the penal system, a quadriplegic in the hospital, or somebody blowing you out of the frame and you pushing days from the grave. We don't want none of that. Right. So remember, yesterday is history, tomorrow is the future, today is the present. So treat today as a gift because tomorrow is not guaranteed to each and every one of us. Do not, I repeat, do not let your emotions supersede your intelligence. Whatever you do this morning, this afternoon, this evening, or tonight, what do? You think before you think. Let the information swirl around in the cranium for a hot minute and then make a decision. And trust me, it will be the right decision. Thanks for giving me your listening ears for the last 4.5 hours. Thank you for the one dingers, the one texters. They have a saying, each one teach one. They got another saying that you seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. They got another saying, we can't be good, be careful. Well, do like what I do. Stay in my house and be a pest. That's what I do. So you do the same thing too. And on that note, I'm breaking out like the Audi A5 version. So I'm through the door. Peace out.